Hey my friends, Dr. Groovy here, Scott Grove with lesson number 4 in the uke series with the D chord. Going to allow us to do 2 of our chords out of the 3 that we've already used, which are the G and the C, and we're just going to add D to that progression so it can be in the key of G and play songs that you like to play in the key of G. Okay? So we'll be taking the D chord and adding stuff that we've been adding before. Suspended, 4 chords, the scales, okay, stuff to get you from D back to G real quick, like I was doing. D. There's your G. What? Huh? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to get you back and forth to all that, all the little licks, all the fun tricks, and I'll just shut up now and let's go to D. Hey friends, welcome back. D chord, yeah, we all know it, we all love it. It's the one where we get to use 3 fingers on 3 strings. Okay, one of the notes, the 2 outside ones are going to be the same. So what do we have? We have the open A string and then the 2nd fret on all the others. Okay, and they're all going along like this. We don't use our 1st finger. What do we get to use out of this? It depends on how we are fingering this thing. If we're fingering it traditionally, we don't get to use much except for the suspended 4th, which is a great thing to happen. Simply moving the E string 2nd fret up to the 3rd. Okay, we can make some groovy jazz chords, but I don't think we want to. Another groovy jazz chord. We can do our 7th chord though, which is nice, just simply by lifting up our ring finger. Lets us know we're going to G. Okay, I'll show you that in a little bit. More than likely. Okay, the thing to do here is to make this work out the same way as we did the C chords, where we get to bar a finger across. B-A-R-R-E is how it's spelled, meaning one finger is covering up more than one string. Okay, so we're going to bar it across the 2nd fret, almost like we had all 4 across here. It accomplishes the same thing. We're covering the same strings, and we are not counting on the A string to be here because we're going to put a pinky all the way up here at the 5th fret. Okay, so now we do not have any 2 notes being the same this time. Beautiful thing. Okay, so we run down the gamut of the scale. Okay, again, so we're going to go, I'm going to name it from the highest string all the way down to our C string. So we're going to just use numbers of the frets. So 5, 4, 2, then 5, 3, 2, and then 4, 2. 5, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 4, 2. And upward, the same way, doing the do, re, mi. But better yet, 1 through 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because that means we count to 1 to 2 and 2. So that means that note is a suspended 2nd. That's right. You should have that ingrained in your brain. If you don't, go back and learn it in C and know that we can transfer it anywhere on the neck. That's the beautiful thing about this shape. Okay, we're in C. Guess what? We're in D. We're in E. We're in F. You know, it's like that. It can be moved everywhere. It's a beautiful thing, and you can play that scale, and everything is the same. It does not change. Okay, so we want the suspended 4. Sounds great. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there it is, just like we did a second ago. It's the 3rd fret on the E string. So okay, now beyond doing, having all that going, you guys out there going, what? It was taught in the C. It's the scale. Okay, we get to learn. I didn't show you in the C, but this is something new and fun and different for you. When we add the suspended 4th and then just a note up here on your G string, 2 frets above your other one. Okay, so this time on the 4th fret, we get the next chord if we were in the key of D. But it goes to a G chord right there. You're like, that's a G chord? Yeah, look at it. It's this. And then we add that. Okay, so there's D. Add these 2 fingers. Yeah, that's in every single possible way a G chord. Okay, so everything is that simple. Okay, yeah, very, very cool. So a lot of these songs you can be getting from one chord and another. If we want, pay attention, say we're in the key of D. We want to play D, G, A. Guess what? Here's D. Here's G, A, 2 frets higher. Yes, now that is groundbreaking for you people who do not know this. The way to always find out if you have the proper 3 chords is to play like Louie Louie or whatever. If you're ever asking yourself, do I have the right 3 chords in order to play these songs? That's how you find out. It is that simple, folks. That's your light bulb moment. Okay? You're like, you didn't tell us before. I know, we have to have something new for each lesson. So again, that's just simply adding your 4. Then the advantage of the string, your G string up there, just put that note 2 frets forward from your other note down here. And you can get rid of the pinky now and make it just, because look, it's just G moved up. There's A. And then you get back to D. So D to there is so quick. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, girlfriend. So, yeah, you're not going to get over that. If you didn't know it, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay? So now, as you're sitting there playing and thinking, you're going, okay, I'm in D. I can go, there's one of the notes out of the G. Okay, so you can go up there to the G string. Okay, so now we know that we can play those 2 notes in these scales. It's part of the scale. Okay, and there it is, 5th fret, next string, 2nd fret, It's that easy. It just repeats itself. Wow. Okay, so when we get to the G, wow, it's in there. Okay, so it ties stuff together really quick. Okay, so we are in D. Lifting up that finger gives you the D7 by lifting up the middle finger. Okay? Not the middle finger, but the middle finger of these three. So actually your ring finger. Lifting it off of the C string. That gives you your major. So if we are in the key of G, which we are, and we're going to go up to C. So here's G. And I had mentioned before, if we're in one key, which now we're in the key of G for this, we can do G. And I had showed you G7 before, which is turning it inside out. That means we're going to the next chord, which is going to be C. That definitely lets us know we're going to C. So G to C. Okay, back to G to D. There's D7. Lets us know that there's no way we're going anywhere else except for the first chord that we started off in. Okay, so that's the main part of this. All the other stuff is groovy, fluff stuff. But the main thing to keep in mind are the three chords. Okay, again, G, G7, C, C for suspended 4, back to G, to D, D7, back to G, G7, to C, back to G, D, I just added went from the third up to the fourth. That's not third fret to the fourth fret, that's from the third of the chord to the suspended 4. And then pull the pinky off for a 2. And then back to that. Okay, and after all that, pull off that finger, and that takes us to the 7th. Okay, so a lot of numbers, but that's music, unless you want it all written out as sheet music. Who wants that? Not me. Okay, so that's how the D is incorporated. Okay, so that should get you through a whole bunch of stuff now that you know that D chord can go right to that G. Using that again, there's G, C, G, here we go, to D. Okay, that's taking the 7th. Back to G by doing what I showed you. Okay, so now we can go G and make it this way. Okay. We can use now the 5th fret on our C string to make the 7th. To C. Now if we use that G again, and we want to go to D, we just simply D7, back to G. the chord I ended with was a D major 7. Okay, and if you want major 7s, which I'm sure some people will, a major 7 is cool to end a chord with. Say you're in G like we just were. That takes the main note, the G, and moves it back 1 fret, and that is all. Everything else, so you get this, and the only way to take that back 1 fret is to really squeeze everything on there, or to just use 1 finger to cover everything except for. You can add the G string actually here, but okay, so if we get to the end of the song, it's always that real floaty sounding chord. So that's a G major 7 instead of the G7. Okay, that's the difference. One goes back 1 fret, one takes it back 2 frets. As far as the root note again being the name of the chord, the G. G flat, G double flat, which means F. Okay, so there's today's lesson. I hope you dug that. Hey, we're coming back for another one and more stuff. So I've been Groovy, and of course you have too. Practice on this. There's a lot of hidden stuff. I'll show you the hidden stuff and even more on tomorrow's lesson. Stick around.